Hello Team Michael Martyrs. What? Hello Team Michael Martin viewers, my name is Ryder, also known as FootOfAFerret, and this week Mike and I are going to be talking about zombies. And I know that it's not October anymore, it's now well into November, but my fedora was lost, and I can't make videos without it. Anyways, once you're done watching Michael's half of this collaboration, and only when you're done watching Michael's half of this collaboration, you can head on over to my channel to see a special zombie-centric episode of my show, A Brief History. Take it away, Mr. T.
Hello, and welcome to A Brief History. In this episode, we'll pick up where Ryder left off and talk about zombies in pop culture. Ready, set, go. The concept of the malevolent living dead dates back to the 13th century BCE, when the Epic of Gilgamesh made reference to resurrected corpses that eat the living. Early examples of living dead stories that reached mass pop audiences include Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Hollywood's 1932 film White Zombie. But it wasn't until the 1968 release of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead that most audiences became familiar with the modern concept of a zombie. It's important to note, however, that Romero himself admits that many of the story elements we now consider staples of the genre were actually lifted from Richard Matheson's novel I Am Legend. That said, Romero was the genre's great cinematic trailblazer, and he later went on to greater artistic and financial success with films including my own favorite zombie movie, 1978's Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was released under the title Zombie in Europe, and was so incredibly popular that Italian filmmakers released a totally unrelated movie titled Zombie 2, a shameless attempt to cash in on Romero's success. Zombie 2 was later followed by Zombie 3, 4, and 5, and it's very confusing, and there's information in the doobly-doo. The 1980s produced more notable Z cinema with the likewise unrelated Return of the Living Dead series, which featured the first zombies that hungered for brains. But while these films were beloved by horror fans, they never quite connected with a broader mainstream audience. And so, with only a couple notable exceptions, the genre went mostly silent for many years. Fast forward to the early 21st century, when the undead rose to cultural heights never seen before. Their ascent arguably began with 28 Days Later, the Walking Dead comic, and was solidified by Shaun of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and Romero's own Land of the Dead. Soon, zombies had starring roles in everything from video games to Brad Pitt blockbusters to cable television's most popular show. There have been many theories to explain this recent zombie resurgence. Romero's original Night of the Living Dead came out at the height of the Vietnam War, and many viewers at that time saw the film as an allegory for a conflict without traditional borders or defenses. There are obvious parallels with our own post-9/11 world, and modern anxieties about globalization and societal collapse may add to these fears. I'd love to hear in the comments what your favorite zombie stories are, and why you think zombies are so popular. I'll see you in a week, guys. DFTBA.
Anyways, once you're done watching Michael's half of this collaboration, and only when you're done watching Michael's half of this collaboration, you can head on over to my channel to see a special zombie-centric episode of my show, A Brief History.